Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Combo League podcast. I am your host, Avengers. Alongside me is my partner, back from the dead, Lima.
Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, it's good to be back after taking that week off. I was busy, unfortunately, but should be good now.
And sad to say, our Bills user did leave the league. He decided to take a break from leagues and decided just to have fun playing an online head-to-head. So, your boy won on a forced win. That sucks. But next we have a game. It was the Broncos versus the Giants. Ungly versus Julio. Ungly has really not played well this season, but has decided to come back in the end. And Julio has his ups and downs. I guess we should go into the stats and see why Ungly beat Julio in this.
Yeah, and before getting into this game, it's interesting to see the score because, like you said, Ungwe hasn't had too good of a season, and Julio has beat some people we expected him not to beat, and he's lost to people we expected him to beat. So this is kind of an interesting game between the two.
Yeah. So let's go into this. Paxton Lynch having a game of his life. Well, not really. 342 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Only sacked once. And then Michael Hatch, the rookie that the Giants picked up
Four
to replace Eli
interceptions.
Manning, 273 yards, 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and sacked twice. That is not playing well.
And Perkins only had 62 yards and off of 21 attempts, so he only had a 3 yard per carry average. And Matt Jones not doing any better with 17 attempts for 38 yards. So this was, I guess
This
you could say this was a passing game, but it looked like some defense. There was some pretty good defense involved too.
receiving Corey Davis having 128 yards and a touchdown, and then just everybody else is there. Odell only 68 yards on 4 attempts, no touchdowns. Like there was nothing there in this
Yeah,
game.
and it's kind of interesting that that the Broncos were able to limit both Shepard and Beckham under 100 yards each.
Yeah.
Because I mean, usually if you can cover one, you can't cover the other just because they're both really good threats. They're both fast, so it's interesting to see that.
I guess it was a defensive game with the sacks. We have Javonte Sands, uh, Taco Charlton having a half, and everybody pretty much having a half except for Javonte Sands with 1.5, who's a cornerback. So it looks like Unglu was running some nickel blitzes or corner blitzes the game.
Yeah, and all the interceptions were off of DBs, so it looks like just probably poor reads by the Giants is probably what did it.
Yeah, let's see.
Maybe with that nickel blitz or whatever corner blitz he was running, he probably got early pressure, so he was forced to get rid of the ball quick, and he just made poor reads.
Well, it had to be the picks and sacks because there was no fumbles, safeties, block kicks. Well, good job to Ungwe, apparently on his win against Julio.
Yeah, this next game coming up here is a shocker.
Oh yeah,
42 to 24, Titans over the Browns.
and I actually predicted Browns winning this. Like this is good for my season, but it was a shocker for this to happen.
I'm sorry, but I just saw what he named. I just saw what he named Blake Bortles right now.
Choke artist.
That's
Both not having that good of a game. Marcus Mariota, yeah, he had 285 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's 1 for 1, but he was sacked 6 times. And then choke artist Blake Bortles, 334 yards, had more passing yards, but only 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. I can't. The rushing game, Todd Gurley actually in there for the Titans now. 23 rushes for 142 yards, 3 touchdowns, but a fumble too. And Dalvin Glass, Dalvin Glass. Oh God, he just renamed all of his players.
oh, geez.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
because he did say Dalvin Cook got injured once again for this season.
yeah.
122 yards on 11 attempts, which did better in a touchdown. But then Jarek McKinnon coming in without two attempts, 107 yards and a
Yeah.
touchdown.
Well, looking back at this though, that looks like it's the way BG used to play. You know, he was a really good runner, so it's nice to see him get back to that.
Receiving, let's see, Chris Conley having a game, 7 attempts, 173 yards. Jalen Strong
Who's
playing
Jalen Strong
good.
getting up there?
Robert Woods having a touchdown also. Josh Gordon, Isaiah Crowell, David Njoku. It looks like it was a passing game, but it looks like interceptions though is what got this. So it probably a defensive game over here with sacks. 3 for J.J. Watt, 1 for Yannick Nagako, 1 by Rashawn Bryant, half by Muhammad Wilkerson, and half by Christian Kirksey.
And it's interesting to see. He did have two interceptions with the Feeney, which looks to be his usual linebacker. But also the Titans getting a pick with Jeremy Cash, his newly acquired of a couple weeks linebacker.
Ooh, any forced fumbles? We got 3 actually. 1 by Travis Feeney, 1 by J.J. Watt, and 1 by Jonathan Cyperian. Strong safety, Cyperian. Haven't heard much of him this season, but playing in a game that was a big win for them.
And there was actually a defensive touchdown in this game too by the Browns. So if you calculate that defensive touchdown into it, you can tell he really didn't have an offensive game that he usually does.
No, he didn't. All right, that good. Good job by the Titans for that big win for them. Hopefully the Browns can come back from that loss. Another sim game or another forced game. And then our newly acquired Cincinnati Bengals losing to Scorpio, the Steelers. Not a big surprise for me. Scorpios played very well in this season. Phew,
Yeah, and the new Bengals owner, this was his first game with the team, so he's I guess still getting used to him.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
Russell,
528
he,
passing yards.
5 touchdowns, but still 2 interceptions. Sacked 4 times. Andy Dalton, 302 yards, a touchdown, 3 interceptions,
Hold
and
on.
sacked five
Did
times.
you see that? As long as 100 yards. Okay, so I wonder who got that reception.
That means it was from the 1 yard line into the end zone.
And it was Demarius Thomas.
Demarius Thomas having that, huh?
I wonder. I'm curious to see what the play was. I mean, there's no way for us to know, but oh
Rushing
wow,
Davion Foot, though. And there he is rushing with Russell Wilson again.
6 attempts for 26 yards. I'm sure those got him a few key first downs.
But yeah.
And
Receiving,
then we go
Julio
to
Jones, top of
receiving.
that.
Wow.
Top of that list. Three
Yeah,
times.
but I mean, you'd expect to see Julio Jones at the top of receiving lists. Sammy Coates, 6 receptions for 183 yards.
AJ Green not
Two
really getting
receivers,
in there. Tyler
two
Croft.
receivers with some pretty big games.
Tyler Eifert not playing. That's 1 attempt for 8 yards.
Hmm. He probably had Shazier locked on Eifert, so he probably didn't want to throw it to Shazier at all.
Sacks Jonathan Jones, cornerback once again. Carlos Dunlap, Kevin Minter, Marquise Upshaw, Buda Baker, Bud Dupree, Ryan. So yeah, that's he. He loves to rush those corners.
Yeah, and he only had one interception with Shazier, which is a little surprising. Usually we see him with a couple more.
William
And the Bengals
Jackson.
scoring on a defensive touchdown. Looks like it was a pick six.
Yeah. Good job to both teams though, coming in and playing their hardest in that game. And then the Vikings versus the Saints. That was a blowout game, but not really a fair blowout game.
Yeah, we see two touchdowns for Teddy Bridgewater off an interception, and four interceptions thrown by Joe Flacco, and two more by Philip Rivers. So it looks like Debo's, playing his typical use your game on
And then
defense.
rushing Latavius Murray with his 148 yards and two touchdowns. Along with Donta Foreman getting in there for 17 yards and a touchdown still.
And if you go look at receiving, you see Laquan Treadwell had a big game, 9 receptions for 192 yards.
Two
And then you
touchdowns.
see a lot of New Orleans receivers. The next best receiver for the Vikings only had 1 reception and 11 yards, so it looks like he only threw to 2 receivers that whole game. It's kind of interesting.
And then defense. Sacks. Two by Danielle Hunter. Two by Von Miller. One by Anthony Barr. One by Linval Joseph. And one by Woodrow Hamilton. One by Hassan Reddick. And half by Quan Alexander. It's a stacked team all the way.
Yeah. Oh, is there an error here? I see four interceptions by Anthony Barr, but where are the other interceptions at?
Mm. He only had.
It
Oh
looks
yeah,
like
there was six.
yeah, that's interesting.
What else we have? Anything else on this? Anthony Barr did have a defensive touchdown, pick six.
All right. Well, yeah, that's a typical, good user defense and good running game by Debo.
Straight sim, force win for me because he didn't want to play. Jets versus Dolphins. Solid Jets winning this one all the way.
Yeah, that was a definite Jet victory. I'm surprised it was honestly that close. Only 21-42
Oof! Look
off
at
of
that!
throwing
Look at those
five
play.
interceptions, and it was still he only
Yeah,
allowed 42. So I
Christian
mean,
Hank.
42 points is a lot, but five interceptions, you'd expect to see a little more than
Um,
42 points.
Lamar Miller getting in there for 186 yards and three touchdowns, but Tevin Coleman in there for 126 yards, three touchdowns himself.
Cooper Kupp with 4 receptions for 104 yards off a touchdown. Jarvis Landry must have had a huge. Oh yeah, he did have a 59-yard long catch. He had 2 receptions for 96 yards. So it looks like he
Julius
had two pretty big plays.
and Austin and Safarian Jenkins with his normal game for the Jets, which I think he's a glitch in this game. He really is. He'll break tackles that you wouldn't think he would break because of his overall. But it was a defensive game still. With
Yeah. You see three different linebackers having picks for the Jets, so that shows you like he can. Not, I don't know if maybe he can use her with every play, but he
DeAndre
knows how to
Levy,
put them in the right
that's a
positions.
surprise though. DeAndre Levy is not the fastest guy.
Yeah. I think he just knows how to put them in the right positions. Knows like what he probably saw what the other team was doing and like knew what to expect.
No defensive touchdowns though. No safeties. Any block kicks? No. So it was
Only
just,
one sack the whole game.
yeah. Good job to the Jets as always. What's next on our list of people?
Ooh, we
49ers
got the
versus Cardinals.
49ers and Cardinals.
49ers playing his ass off this season.
Yeah, and that's not really a
Ooh,
surprise. He's been able to get, good pressure all season long. He's been playing some good defense.
but his offense, that needs some work.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he had 172 rushing yards off of 13 attempts. That's a That's pretty good with average of 13.2 yards per carry.
And a touchdown. Oh, Robert Ellsworth fumbling 3 times. He even shows Adrian Peterson some love right down there for 4 attempts, 18 yards. Receiving, D.D. Westbrook.
D.D. with a touchdown, 6 receptions for 144 yards.
He loves to
And you
throw to his
see,
tight end.
yeah, he moved Marcel Reese to tight end. Because, I mean, he's a fullback, really, but he can catch like a tight end. So, I mean, why not move him to tight end?
Marcus Soto, which actually apparently Marcus Soto is actually a good receiver. John Ross always in there for a touchdown.
Yeah. Only 3 receptions for 54 yards.
Larry Fitzgerald apparently not doing anything for the team, or he's just not throwing to Larry at all.
Yeah, it's probably his speed probably went down after the first year, a few. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can use him in the red zone, and so for some short passes.
And there's the sacks list for us. Whew. All pretty much all 49 except for Reuben Foster.
And
They're all
49ers
linebackers.
getting away with some good interceptions too.
Ooh, yeah. Eric Reed still playing boss.
And we don't have any special teams touchdowns in this game either.
There
See what
was
we
a
got
defensive.
next.
There's 3 defensive touchdowns though.
Oh, 3 of them. Wow.
Zach Sanchez, cornerback for the Cardinals, and one by Eli Harold, middle linebacker, one by Nick Childress, rookie, right outside linebacker. So good job to the Jets for another win on his season.
49ers.
Oh yeah, 49ers. Washington versus the Raiders. Another blowout for the week.
That's not too surprising to see. The Redskins,
Nah.
I mean, he's had some tough games, but he's pretty good. No, he threw 328 yards and 2 touchdowns and no interceptions with Eli Manning. And you see, the interceptions is probably a huge part of that game,
Oh
with
yeah.
Beeman doing 6 interceptions.
But it probably was with the rushing game too. Actually not. Touchdowns 3, but 27 attempts for only 97 yards. Oakland actually stopping the run game.
Yeah, I mean, when you have 27 attempts, you'd expect to get close to 100 yards. So that was a good job by the Oakland run defense. Oh wow, look at receiving yards. 5 receptions for 229 yards. So it looks like he knows where the money plays are at.
Yeah. Alshon Jeffrey, 73 yards for a touchdown too. Maurice Gooch having 45 yards, actually being a receiving back that game apparently. Just Khalil Mack
Yeah.
not having any sacks actually. Tyron Holmes, the right end. A lot of sacks by the Redskins. Cornerback sacks again. A lot of people like running the blitzes for the corners.
I gotta ask you, do you recognize that name, Leon Sandcastle?
Leon Sandcastle.
That's that's actually Deion Sanders. It's a
Yeah,
fictional character, and
yeah, I remember that.
They made a bunch of commercials. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I remember that one. Leon Sandcastle. Thomas Gay having 2. Leon Sandcastle having 2 interceptions. Aaron Mayo having an interception. And Kendall Fuller actually having an interception himself. All DBs.
Yeah, so it looks like he was probably getting a lot of pressure, and Raiders had to get the ball off quick. So made some poor throws. The Redskins knew what to do on defense, put his guys in the right position. So good job for him there. See if we have any defensive touchdowns.
There
No, we
was
don't have
no,
any.
yeah, there was no defensive touchdowns on this game. Kansas City versus Jaguars. We're gonna look over this game. Actually, yeah, it looks like the thing with your team was turnover differentials.
Yeah, Brissett, I had a few key interceptions thrown, and he had a fumble that really hurt too.
DeMarco Murray, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kevin Hogan fumbling too. Receiving, Allen Hurns. Allen Hurns still being a beast.
And Zuda is my rookie receiver. I got him open deep a few times, but that didn't continue long. He was able to shut that down pretty quick after he saw it a couple times.
He seems like someone who's fast because even for his size of 5'9".
Yeah, he's actually only got I think 90 or 91 speed, but he's got like a kind of super. He's a superstar, but he's got like a superstar catchability, so he can really catch a lot of what's thrown at him in coverage.
Chris Jones sacking. Ross Clifton has a 1.5. Justin Houston with a sack. Calais Campbell with a sack. And Malik Jackson with half a sack himself. Yeah, it looks like 2 by Demario Davis. Is that his user? Is Demario Davis actually Kansas City's user?
I can't remember.
Emmanuel Ogba, Jalen Ramsey, Telvin Smith, Adoree Jackson, and D Ford. Maybe maybe it's not fumble recoveries, any defensive touchdowns in that game. Nah. So it's just looks like it was the run game.
Yeah, he had a few long runs towards the end, but yeah, the game was just I don't know. It was a tough game.
Well, good job to both of y'all for playing it out until the end and trying y'all's hardest. Maybe next time things will go a different way. Patriots, Chargers, really close game, played twice, but really close game.
Yeah, that is really close, and to see the Chargers with only 13 points, this was a really tough defensive battle from the looks of it. Yeah, he threw 4 interceptions with Johnny Manziel.
Then
That's
sacked
interesting that he's
3 times.
starting Manziel over Mahomes.
Uh, Rushing, Dion Lewis, 14 attempts, 49 yards. There was no rushing game from either side.
That's interesting that also interesting that C.J. Anderson is starting over Melvin Gordon.
Receiving, Rob Gronkowski, biggest threat. Terrell
Terrell
Pryor,
Pryor. That's
yeah,
kind of
Brandon
interesting.
Cooks.
That's typical. Yeah, this is like what you kind of expect to see with these two teams, with the
Except,
exception of Terrell Pryor.
yeah, except for
Yeah.
the Johnny Manziel starting over Pat Mahomes and C.J. Anderson over Melvin Gordon. And
Yeah.
defensively, who had that 1.5 sacks by Trey Flowers, who is actually a monster in this game. Derek Barnett having his own sack. Joey Bosa having a sack. Duran Harmon having half a sack. I'm surprised Joey Bosa didn't get more pressure.
Yeah, maybe he didn't blitz enough or blitz him particularly. I don't know. Well, he is a
Malcolm
weapon, but
Malcolm Butler, Donta Hightower, Devin McCourty, and Eric Rowe. Whew. That defensive side, though, is really hard to go against just because it's already good enough.
yeah, and New England actually scored 2 of their touchdowns in the third quarter. So he only allowed, it was either 2 field goals or a touchdown and a missed extra point in the fourth quarter. So that was a really good defensive game all the way through.
Good job to both of y'all. What's next on our list? Chicago, Detroit. It was a straight sim. We can't really go over the Cowboys and Eagles because it was a force, apparently.
It wasn't a force. They played. I set the force before they played, and then it turned out they played. So
So,
I didn't. So yeah, it actually was a played game.
the result is their played game.
Yes.
All right, then we can go over it. Awesome. Ooh, I just seen the box score and the yards and stuff. You can tell it was all the Cowboys all the way.
Yeah, and Carson Wentz threw 4 interceptions and 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions for Dak Prescott with 295 yards over Carson Wentz's 236. And then if you go to rushing, see Devonta Freeman had a big game with 25 yards or 25 attempts for 185 yards, and only allowing Wendell Smallwood 17 yards off 8 attempts. So it looks like this was a good all-around performance from the Cowboys without even seeing much more.
T.Y. Hilton being his top receiver. But actually, Terrence Williams having a touchdown, and so did Thomas Cruz, rookie.
And Torrey Smith with the Eagles' lone reception touchdown. Check out the defensive side of the ball. We got one, two, three sacks. That's the 0.5. There should be another 1.5 or a 0.5 somewhere, but
Looks like this game doesn't want to give us these sacks.
And then you see all the interceptions that were thrown. Anthony Brown with 2 of them. That's the corner with 96 speed, right?
I think so. Marlon Humphrey with his own. Eric Kendricks. Jalen Smith getting a Mackenzie Alexander. Keith Tandy. Daryl Morris. It just looks like it was going back and forth this entire game. Defensive touchdowns. None, actually. No one having a defensive touchdown on either side of the ball.
Yeah, so that was a good all-around performance by Keon, and congrats on that win.
And going into our last game, Prophet versus Young Sniper. I actually thought Young Sniper was going to win this one, but Prophet came to win.
Wow,
It
yeah,
was a, it was
and
a,
I think you look, the turnover battle was pretty close. Falcons with 6 and Seahawks with 5, so it
yeah.
looks like both teams have played really good defense with turnover-wise,
Oof.
getting those interceptions.
I see where the 6 turnovers came from, though.
Yeah, 6 interceptions thrown by Matt Ryan and 4 thrown by Big Ben.
Mm. Was it a rushing game? No. It was shutting
It
down
really
Ezekiel
wasn't.
Elliott, shutting down Le'Veon Bell. But
That's
Le'Veon
interesting
Bell,
that Matt Ryan had 4 rushes for 22 yards
and
and
he's
a
not,
touchdown.
kidding. He's not even a rushing quarterback.
That's funny.
Receiving, who was the biggest receiver? Paul Richardson actually being the top receiver, 5 receptions, 295 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
Martavis Bryant with 4 and 143 yards. DeAndre Hopkins with 4, 125 yards and a touchdown. Austin Hooper getting in there for some love. Jimmy Graham, not a lot of yards, but still, his size makes it easy to get to him. And then Joshua Perkins, tight end, also getting his own touchdown in that game. Looks like it was just going back and forth on both sides for defense, though.
Yeah,
Frank
and
Clark.
Sorry. Going into it, looking at the 6 interceptions thrown by the Falcons, I would have thought most of them would have been user picks, but it looks like that he was playing some good coverages and surprising the
Deshaun,
Falcons.
yeah, Deshaun Seed, Earl Thomas. Of course, Earl Thomas is gonna be in there. Uh, Kamal, Ishmael, Bobby
And then
Wagner,
you get down to the users with Bobby Wagner and Arthur Brown.
and then Vontarius Dora, which isn't the user. Prophet actually told us that Dion got hurt in the beginning of the game on like a punt return or something, and then was didn't come back until the final minute of the fourth. So Dion did not help out that game at all. It might have been a closer game if Dion was there.
Yeah, he's a pretty good user with Dion. With Dion.
But right here though, Frank Clark having 3 sacks.
Yeah, Frank Clark is a beast. I think, a lot of people know about him, but I still think he's underrated in this game.
Yeah. Defensive touchdowns. Any on this game with it going back and forth? No, actually not. It looks like it was offense all the way, but good game to both sides though. Looks like it was a hard fought game for Profit.
And good win there, Prophet, because the Falcons was on a hot streak, and so it was a little surprising to see the Seahawks come out. But good job with that one.
On to our next part of the video that we always do, the standings. Where everybody stands after week 12. And drum roll please. Panthers, of course, being the top, still on that 11-game streak. No one beating him yet. Jets right behind him with 10-1, only losing that one game. Cowboys with 2 losses, Steelers with 2 losses, and Vikings with 2 losses. So it's top 5, pretty much the same people as it's been all year.
Yeah, and then I mean that's not much of a surprise to see the same top four, top five actually, but yeah, the records have changed a little bit with a few getting some losses, but yeah, this is the same
Redskins
four
moving
teams in
down, Seahawks moving up, Bills moving down, Browns moving down, Falcons moving down, Giants moving down once again, Jags moving down, Titans not moving at all, I don't think. Colts moving down. So everybody pretty much moving a little bit or a lot.
Let's go take a look at the divisions. Oh, and
Yeah.
the very first division to see NFC, or sorry, AFC North. This is still a really close division, with the Steelers only having a one-game lead over you, and
Yeah.
you only have a one-game lead over the Browns.
Yeah, this
So
is
this is still really anybody's division.
and I'm facing a very hard opponent in Debo this week with so hopefully I can make this 5-game streak go into a 6-game streak. Gonna play my hardest on this one. AFC South, you're still leading.
Yo,
It might be
yeah. You look
only.
at this embarrassment of a division.
It's not an embarrassment of division. It just seems like the Titans and Colts are really trying to come back from their losing seasons. But you have a big chance of coming back or still keeping this division.
Yeah, no, none of us in this division have really been playing the game that we want to play.
AFC East Jets are still top. Still only two above the Patriots. And the Bills are going to start falling just because we do not have a user yet for them.
Yeah, that's sad to see because the Bills were in really good position.
They were actually they were right behind the Jets until the user left. AFC West, though. This is still a close division with the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos coming back. So, this is still anybody's game with the 5 games left.
Yeah, we're getting a little close to the end, but anybody can still take this division. NFC North is all Debo's division.
Yeah. No
Hasn't
one's.
clinched it yet, but it's coming. It's coming soon.
I don't think anybody. I don't think the Bears are coming. The Packers or Lions are coming back and clinching the division over
Yeah.
Devo. Even 5 games, Devo would have to lose 5, and the Bears would have to win all 5 to even
Yeah.
tie the division.
Yeah. I'm just saying like he hasn't physically clinched the division yet, but
Yeah,
he with a win this week or a Bears loss, he clinches the division.
yeah. NFC South, all
Not a
all
surprise
you
here.
boys. It's
Yeah.
it's clinched already. It's gonna be a clinched division all the way.
And I'm surprised that Madden doesn't look at tiebreakers when they're giving out the clinch because Panthers has beaten Falcons both times, so even if they had the same record at the end, the Panthers would still have already clinched by now because he owns the tiebreaker.
Actually, he would be anyway because he's won all 6 division games. No one's beat him one
But
time
it,
in
but
his.
it's, but the number one tiebreaker is head to head with your opponent, and then if you have the same head to head record, then it looks at division wins.
NFC East, Cowboys, but it's still anybody's divisions with the Redskins and Giants still there. Oof, that's a pretty tough division. It keeps going back and forth. They get closer and then fall. So,
Yeah, and just like based off the up and down season that the Giants have had, I say really I think the Giants is out of the division leader. Can still make the wild card obviously, but if anybody's going to come get this division, it's going to be the Redskins.
good luck to
I'm
both the
saying
Cowboys, Redskins, and Giants, though, for anything that does happen for the rest of this season. And last but not least, the NFC West. Whew. The 49ers, who have led this division this whole entire time, never once losing the top of this division, but
and this is a
only.
surprisingly close division actually between the Seahawks and the 49ers.
Yes, it is. I'm very surprised. But as Prophet has told us, he is coming for this division. He has come back to play. He has come back to win this division over the 49ers.
And good luck to both of them because I mean, this really could go down to the wire. So it'll be interesting to check out that division after week 17.
Oh, yes, it will. Alright, what else is on our list to do for week 13? That's right. Look at the new schedule for the week. Ooh, first game Patriots at Saints.
Yeah, I see the Patriots coming away with this one.
Sorry, little killer, but I do. You've gotten better. You've gotten a lot better, but Patriots have had a great season so far. Colts at Browns. What do you think on this one? Because I did say Browns last time, and Evidon did come in and win that game out.
Though that's Taco, but yeah. I see the Browns winning this one too. I mean these two know each other really well, and so I expect this to be a close game, but I do see the Browns coming away with it in the end.
All right, all right. I'm not really gonna vote. I'm gonna keep my vote to myself for now and see how this game pans out for next week. Because I'm hoping either side can come away with this win. Redskins at Bears. I say Redskins all the way on this one. I see
Yeah, I
Redskins
agree
just
with you
coming
there.
away with this win by a long shot.
Yeah, I don't see much chance for the Bears in this one, but good luck to both teams.
Like always, good luck to every team for every week we go through. 49ers at Bucks though.
Hmm.
I see 49ers, but we have seen some
Yeah,
pretty weird things with the Bucks this season, even on their losing.
yeah, I was gonna say something similar to that. I do see the 49ers winning, but like you said, the Bucks have played some pretty close games, even though they've been on the losing side of them. But I mean, he's had some surprising performances, so this could really go either way.
Cardinals at Giants. Do you think Julio can come away with the win this week to
I
not
I
kick him
think
fully out
so.
of this division?
Yeah, I see him coming away with the win this week, but I think it's going to be a good game to watch. But um, yeah, I see him bouncing back from that performance last week and taking this one.
All right. And my game, man. Oh,
Yeah,
this is gonna be a hard fight all the way till the end for me.
yeah.
I don't
And
know if
sorry
I'm
to say,
gonna.
but I do see Devo coming out with this one.
I wouldn't doubt everybody saying Devo coming out with this one, but I'm gonna still try until the very end.
Of course. And this one is our only CPU game of the week, so it'll be, unless we get a user soon, it'll be Young Sniper taking that one.
Broncos and Dolphins, both really low in their division, but who do you see on this one? I see Ungwe coming away with this win. Ungwe's come back, and Ungwe's trying.
Yeah. Yeah, I see him coming away with the win too. He's still fighting to make the playoffs, not completely out of it yet. He had a great game last week, so I see him winning this one.
Texans at Rams. Two teams trying to bomb the season because they came in so late and the teams are so low. Do you think they're actually going to play?
Uh, I don't
Do you,
know, but if they do, I'd say I see the Rams winning this one.
I do too. I have to say the Rams. Panthers at Packers. Panthers. Uh, your boy,
Yeah, I see Panthers winning
your
that
boy
one
has
too for
played
sure.
awesomely. Even with close games, he's come out. Even in the Super Bowl last year, he came back in the second half winning. He's stacked on both offense and defense. He's been able to make trades to get rid of some of the stacked players to for better things to come in his team. Uh, he's gone back to running the ball more because he has gotten Derrick Henry from the Titans. So I see him running the ball with Derrick Henry and getting a lot of yards on the Packers this week.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Packers hasn't really done much this season, so I see the Panthers coming away with this one for sure. This next game is going to be a good one, though.
Whew.
I do see. I'm going to go ahead and say that the Seahawks are going to take this one. They're really fighting for that division. Even though he's only one game back, he's really got to try and win out. If he runs a secure shot at winning that division, he's really got to win out, and I think that's going to motivate him to get the W in this one.
And I want to vote for either side, but here's my thing: is Keon's trying to fight to keep his division, while Prophet's trying to fight to take his division. It's gonna be hard fought on each side, and I don't know who
Yeah.
I'm rooting for in this one.
Both teams are really hungry, so this could go either way. But I'm going to stick with the Seahawks.
Uh, I'm gonna I'm gonna have to I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna have to save my vote on this game too because it's such a hard fought game on both sides. I hope one of them does show us this game for this week because if they do, it's going to be an amazing game. Bengals at
All right.
Lions. New Bengals user and Lions user who just came in this season. Lions, as you saw, their records weren't very good this season, but really close games when he plays. So, do you think the new
Yeah.
Bengals user who doesn't really know his team versus the Lions user? I'd have to go with the
Um.
Lions.
I still think the Bengals are going to get this one done. And I mean, yeah, he doesn't quite know his team yet, but it doesn't take too long to learn him. Um, I see him getting the job done in this one.
Eagles at Raiders. Bang Benji 12 and Willie Beeman. Willie's really fallen off from his start this season. And we have a new Eagles user. Do you think the Eagles user is just going to try to bomb, or is he going to try to play until the very end and try to finish out?
Well, we haven't really seen much of him except for the blowout loss that he took this last week.
Yeah.
So you'd assume that he's probably trying to get a better draft pick here, but this game could still be a good one to watch. I do see the Raiders taking this one just because
Yeah.
the Eagles are most likely trying to get the better draft pick, so probably won't be trying too hard.
Steelers and Chargers. Scorpio blowing people out this season, trying to make it back to the Super Bowl to redeem himself from last season. But Chargers coming out with wins you wouldn't expect him to have. I have to give this one to Scorpio though. The Steelers really just playing their hardest this season.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think the Steelers are going to take this one, but this could be a kind of an interesting game to watch because the Steelers playing with this really good defense and the Chargers playing with good offense. So it's going to be a good offense versus a good defensive battle in this one. So it'll be interesting to see who takes over in this one. But I do think the Steelers are going to win this one.
Jets at Chiefs. Slow it down versus Dalman. Dalman coming back from a losing season, and slow it down just having an awesome season in himself.
Yeah, I see the Jets taking this one. Probably, probably not going to be the closest game. I don't think it'll be a complete blowout, but I do see the Jets taking this one by a few scores.
I don't know. I really can't say the Jets. I'm really gonna have to root for the Chiefs just because the Chiefs. My stats and awards for team stats, the Chiefs have led up the least amount of passing yards, having that pass defense. And the Jets are really known for passing the ball. So I'm really gonna say the Chiefs take this one this week.
All right, last game of the sorry, week. It's the Titans against me, the Jaguars. So what do you? I'll let you talk about this game since it's mine. Since it's mine, so I don't really want to talk too much about
Well,
it.
yeah, I have to give this one to you, not just because we're both hosts, but because Evan he has come back and won a couple games, but him and his turnover ratio is really just not playing out very well for himself. So I have to give this one to you. You have a good running game and a passing game, a great defense. You get picks. So I have to hand this one to you.
All right.
And last but not least, what everybody comes to see, who won the weekly awards? Who won? We're gonna go see. We're gonna go see who won the weekly awards this for week number 12. Which this doesn't surprise me. Really, it doesn't.
Yeah, this doesn't surprise me at all either.
Just by looking at the stats for each game last week, Paul Richardson, 5 receptions, 295 yards, 59 reception average, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Anthony Barr with 5 tackles, 1 sack, 4 interceptions, and a touchdown. AFC, we have Russell Wilson, 23 for 36, 528, 5 passing touchdowns. Did get intercepted twice and sacked 4 times, but also having 6 carries for 26 rushing yards. And then William Jackson the third for 6 tackles, 2 interceptions, and a touchdown.
Yeah. I think this really overall this isn't too surprising to see, but I think the thing that catches my eye the most is to see Russell Wilson throw for 528 yards. Because Scorpio, he's usually you see him come up big on the defensive side of the ball, and that's usually what wins him games.
And
So
it's funny to see the game that the Bengals lost to the Steelers for Week 12, and both of them showing up for the weekly awards.
yeah, definitely. But
Well,
yeah, Paul Richardson doesn't really catch my eye because I mean he's a speed receiver and he's got the ability to get open deep. And Anthony Barr, you'd expect to see him in here quite a bit.
yeah. Well, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you did enjoy. If you did, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We post this every 2 days, which is every week or every advanced week for this league. Anything you want to say, Lima?
No, I just want to say it was nice to be back on this episode after taking last week off, and look forward to keep doing these with you guys. If you have any suggestions for us, don't forget to let us know, and we'll try and work them into our future podcasts.
Or if you have a totally new video you want us to do, we'll try to incorporate that and see what we can do with it and make it even bigger. Well, we hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time on another Combo League podcast.